Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Cross Comics After Dark. Of course, I'm here tonight, and with me, of course, is the Metal from Extremis Chaos. And I am actually. Oh, go ahead, Metal. You
Oh,
want
I
to say
wasn't
hi?
saying anything.
Oh, and I'm going to be doing some digital coloring today on probably this piece and Fishman piece. But the thing is, I can't find my stylus, everybody, so I'm going to be trying to do it with a mouse. This could get
Welcome to
ugly.
my world.
This could get ugly. Really ugly. Good thing I'm going to have to remember to do that separate layers thing for sure tonight.
I mean, do you not
Okay.
always do separate layers?
Well, the odd time I forget, you know, and sometimes I leave them on the same layer, but tonight it's going to be extra memory in case anything goes wrong. Okay, so I gotta move my keyboard out of my way. So I have a nice big open area. Not that it matters so much. But the other good thing is I do have a wireless mouse. So, wireless optical mouse. So that helps. Not quite, although if I put my mouse on here, well, sometimes it likes to slide down. Okay, so let's go over. I'm showing that screen good, okay. And hopefully I'll be able to hear if anybody comes in.
I really wish they would put like participants on one side, waiting room on the other, because there's plenty of like empty space around the preview and StreamYard that they don't use. And unless you're the host, the other people can't even tell who is in the call with them.
Yeah, yeah, unless you're seeing them on screen or hearing them or whatever. Yeah, don't always like that myself.
And like, look how much room is on the side. They could just put like little thumbnails to represent each person.
Yeah. Wait, change canvas size. Doo-doo-doo. Oh, I didn't bring up a picture of her art. Although I still need to add. Hey, Eagle. Eagle's here and he says first. Well, technically, I was first since I opened up the chat and I could view it. I just didn't type. But do I count in that
Only if
way?
you type.
Oh, okay. Those are the rules, eh? Those are the rules, eh?
Well,
Yeah,
okay, so a long time ago, back when the whole first thing started to become like a meme, you couldn't schedule videos onto YouTube. But then, like the first time scheduling became a thing, people started typing first on their own videos before anybody else got a chance.
yeah. Smart, smart, I think. I don't know whether that's smart or not.
Well, it is like for the first couple people to do it, but after everybody's seen it and starts doing it too, then they're just kind of lazy.
Yeah. Okay. I need to bring up a colored version of Squeaker here so I can.
Rick, we don't use that word anymore. It's version of color.
You mean we don't use that? We use other words. multiple words. We use a phrase. Okay. And the crazy thing is, with you saying that, she happens to be, oh, that, let me say, I need a different one. A woman of color.
And I didn't even know that when I said it.
I can't hear Rick. Okay. Rick, you can't be beat. Okay, why can they not hear me?
I don't know. I can hear you just fine.
It goes, oops. Okay, can you hear Metal? And are you just playing with me about you can't
Yeah, can you hear me?
Let's see. Hello.
Here, let me pull you up in Chrome and see if I hear either of us.
I've got my Chrome on my laptop.
Oh, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Pull you up in Chrome and see if I hear either of us.
I sound weird, but
You always sound like that, like you're in a tin can.
maybe that means I have to get maybe Evan in here and do that audio thing that he tried to do before on the laptop.
We're using the same input from the webcam you're using now.
No, I think I was using the onboard one.
Oh, it might just be a better microphone.
Yeah. Well, there might be just with the new computer might be able to do things better.
Maybe.
Worst thing is I try it, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
Well, like I told you before, after we make sure everything's working as best as possible for you, then I'm going to get you an onboard equalizer / mixer like I'm using right now. It's the same thing that lets me like distort my voice or play music through the microphone and stuff like that. And I'll teach you how to use it. But we're going to make sure everything else is running first before we complicate things on you.
Yeah. Let's get the basics going before we go into fifth year or whatever. Okay, so now let's see. See whether we can do an under layer. Actually, because this is going to be a pain in the buttocks. I don't think I'm going to do a whatchamacallit layer.
A what?
A flats layer or whatever you want to call it. I'm just gonna.
No, you should totally do a flats layer. What you should do first, right, is use the magic wand quick select to select an area, fill it as much as possible, and then go refine the edges. Though I don't know what the keyboard shortcut for the magic wand tool is in Clip Studio.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that. I got the mouse out. I got that right there, the magic
Oh, okay,
wand.
you found it, yeah.
Yeah, I know where all that stuff is, so it's easy to. Get it? Models puts up a thinking face. Can I? Oh, maybe I can do something else. The polygon. Let's see.
Well, you can also like change your selection type to additive, and after you make your base selection, it'll let you add more areas to a selection.
There's
You
my
can just do
polygon.
all the same color at once.
On my laptop. I'm hitting Control Z and wondering why it's not working on my screen, my big screen.
You're on the wrong keyboard.
Yeah, because I put to have the space here to work with.
Yeah.
I took the keyboard down and it's like, crap. I might just have to try and move it over a little bit. See whether I can work with it like that. Okay, let's see. Let's get that on. So yeah, I'm gonna go around with the polygon tool, and I can get the edges closer later. Let's go around her with the polygon tool at the moment for flat.
Hmm.
I'll worry about coloring other stuff once I find my stylus. Because, doing stuff with the mouse, as you know, can be irritating. I did this for the longest time.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm still using
Yeah.
my mouse primarily.
And then I got myself a small graphics tablet. And I was like, oh God, I don't ever want to go back. Once you go graphics tablet, you don't want to go back. Especially with the stylus, it makes things so much easier. And faster. So how is everybody out there in the chat tonight? I seem to be getting a problem or two solved today, although yesterday it seemed to be like a step back. Now at least we're a step forward. We've got the screen sharing working, at least in one browser. Although I
Yeah,
can't.
so you can still stream through StreamYard at least.
Yeah. If I do this for a couple more months, that's going to be all right. I'm still a step ahead, and as long as I can get things, I might even be able to do my gaming through StreamYards too, because I was doing some playing Destiny 2 today, and it was flawless.
Oh, okay.
Except for my bad gaming. I got DC Universe Online installed, so we can people want to go back to doing that. Maybe we can set up a Saturday or something on Twitch.
I tried getting to that game before. I just couldn't.
Yeah. Well, I think if you have a bunch of people around, when you're doing it by yourself, it's not that fun. The game is meant for online and a lot of people, you know. So
Yeah, I mean, but I can usually play MMOs by myself without a problem.
yeah, I
And
just
that
need
one I
it
was just
more.
not enjoying.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I should start up too. Get my City of Heroes account going again. There's I'm not sure whether you know they have City of Heroes.
There's a private server that runs, yeah.
Yeah. Or maybe people doing that, or I don't know
No, I
another.
liked that one. I wouldn't mind getting back into that.
Yeah, if we could get a bunch of people doing that and playing it, that would be sweet. Okay, so for now, I'm gonna forgo the tail, just because that's gonna be a pain. Okay. Well, it didn't quite do what I wanted, but because trying to move the screen down. Oh well. So we'll fill it. I'll go down here. So fill that in. And go back up here. And I guess go try and get more of this area done. And then come back afterwards and try and get, well, I can just use the eraser to get rid of where I don't need. Eagle's thinking. So what are you up to today, Eagle, or what have you been up to?
He's probably been up to like detective stuff.
Detecting?
Either that or reading the shadow.
So, oh, and as everybody, a slight update on my thing. We're trying to get John on as, well, the receipt guy that gets the money so he can hand it over to me. Although that looking like it's going to be difficult. I'm waiting for an answer at the moment from the idiots from thing. They haven't gotten back to me today. Hopefully tomorrow. That's not coming out too bad. So hopefully by next Thursday, John is on, so we can get the money. He can get the money and then send it to me. And then get everything being printed so I can send it to people. Otherwise, it looks like we're going to have to go on my Fallout plan. Bullet puts a banana in the chat and saying this is all bananas, I guess.
You're bananas.
Yeah, a lot of monkeying around. And I think Eagle's trying to say we're buffering, but I think he's teasing me. Just because he can. But we don't mind. Bullet says I'm asking for it. I think that he's. I'm not sure what he's trying to say by the.
That looks like a megaphone.
Oh, maybe it is. It looked like an axe to me at first. So, who knows what's going to happen with Indiegogo? I'm beginning to think I know. There we go. Almost done. Doesn't look too bad. Could be better, but could be worse too. So, Bullet, is that supposed to be an axe or a megaphone? Settle the debate. Not that it's much of a debate.
No, I'm almost like certain that's a megaphone. It's got a trigger on it.
Or maybe it's just too small for me to see.
It's a loudspeaker is what they call it. That's not what comes up when you type in megaphone.
Bullet says this megaphone is cutting through the dead air like an axe. Are you saying we're axing for it? Okay, so. Eagle puts up a pirate flag. So what are you doing your manga tonight? Drawing it or anything
Yeah.
else? Okay.
At the moment, I'm drawing somebody scaling up a wall with a rope.
Cool. Okay, so.
Because the people wandered themselves into a labyrinth, but the labyrinth has no ceiling, so the guy's deciding to cheat by getting up on the walls.
Ah.
Which is
Sounds
like the first thing I would do if I was in a labyrinth.
Eagle says the megaphone needs to be playing the Canadian national anthem. Well, there's only one problem with that, Eagle. The megaphone can't play it. It can only magnify the sound of something else that is playing it.
So you need a boom box playing the anthem with a loudspeaker in front of it.
Yeah. So it can be booming all the way out. Oh, that's what I forgot to do. I forgot to go to the eraser. Trying to think what to talk about. Anything new going on?
But you know, the universe is dead. Nothing new ever happens.
It seems very true, unfortunately.
Especially when you're busy working on the same project over and over again.
Okay, so let's on yeah. Yeah. Now we got that right. Now how well can we color? Good. Ah, crap!
What'd you do?
Started coloring on the wrong layer. Said I can't do that tonight. Good thing I noticed it with the first one. The mouse.
Yeah, it's something that happens to everyone because your layers are just all the way over there to the side and you're not looking at them.
Uh, yeah, you just. All you have to do is forget for that instant. Well, probably more than an instant. And then it just happens. And then the worst thing is when you get 2 or 3 colors in. And it's like, ah, crap. Gotta do all that work over again. Well, it depends. Sometimes you don't have to do it all over again. Depends on whether they were colors that, like, this just this big gray areas, or then you went and did another big area like say all things, or whether you go in and start doing shading and all that and tinting and all that, then it's a pain. Because then you're like, oh crap, I gotta do all that shading and tinting over again because you can't just, like select the one color and put it on the next layer.
Yeah. I do all my flats on one layer, each tone on the same layer as each other.
Yeah,
So I end up only having like 3 or 4 layers for my colors.
yeah. I do, I think, I do my tones each, like I do this, like this gray, then I do the shading for it on a separate layer and the tints on a different layer for this, and then whatever color the gloves are, and if it's anywhere else, I'll do it all. Do the main color there, and then on a different level layer, I will do the other stuff, the tints and the shades and all that. That way, if I want to go back and change them, I can easy enough.
I actually have to go back and change the colors on pretty much the first 4 chapters of Exotimus Chaos.
Oh
Yeah, but I set them up in a way that makes it easy. It's a little time consuming going back and doing something like that. I already have all of chapter 3 done, just about half of chapter 1, and some other just miscellaneous spots.
yeah. Not doing too bad for the coloring, considering. My mom's in the chat saying hello to everyone. Good day, mother. Although I've said hello to you several times today, I think. Definitely gonna have to bunch of corrections to do later. I think I need to go back to the last layer because I think the toes are gray. I think I'm gonna make the tail of that color. Yeah, well, it's beginning to look. I might do something about X Dynamis Chaos on Monday. The guy hasn't answered me yet.
Yeah, well, we can always talk
So
about that.
go over your website. I didn't think you'd have a problem with it in the least.
Oh, of course not. I can talk ad nauseum about it.
So, I got another picture somewhere else. That looks better. Hey, I might actually be able to do searches on this computer while doing stuff while online.
Oh yeah, without it like seizing up and stuff like that.
Oh. Let's see. So I don't know where to find the one picture that I want, so. Let's find out.
Usually, I make this stuff before I even start working on a story, but because it was so last minute, and it was also the fact that these things aren't required for the contest, I don't have a logo or like a title or a stamp or anything like that for the story. I don't have character art or pages or anything like that that I normally do. I just had to like jump straight into it.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Well, heck, I was doing a minimal of that stuff, as you remember, when I was trying to go for it, but I don't think it worked out for me. Well, I've got the idea for a later date, I guess. So
Yeah. I'm like just designing everything on the fly as I'm doing it. Not the
my mom,
smartest idea, but it works.
yeah, my mom just did put my Patreon in double.
Hey, as long as you get there, right?
Yeah,
Though I think it's going to be smart to soon prioritize sharing your subscribe star over your Patreon. I don't know how much longer that company is going to be around.
Yeah. Well, that subscribe to should be in the description as well. So.
It is.
Open. Why does it not have to be in there? Clip Studio.
You know, the thing is, all they had to do was not be concerned about things that happened off their website, and they could have been a thriving business.
Yeah, it's like, as long as they're not violating your terms of service, well, I guess maybe in the terms of service it's saying you can't be cyberbullying, anywhere else on the web or something like that. I don't know.
It's not in there. People comb through it.
Okay, well, then it's like, these people aren't violating your terms of service. Anybody else can suck it up. The thing is, you don't have to support that. You
Yeah.
can even, although I'm not sure whether that's legal in the States, you can try and get people not to go there and, pay, not, be a patron of them, but people have their choice whether they want to be their patrons or not.
Legally, all you can do is really inform people, like
Yeah,
use information to convince them. Or the British liberal system, which is what we all use, has an emphasis on education as a means of changing people, but non-manipulative, like straightforward, bland, blank information.
yeah. But is now my mom puts subscribe star in. Go.
Excellent.
What is Clip Studio? Who makes Clip Studio?
Oh, I had looked that up before.
Because I'm in program files. Because, you want to bring something up in Clip Studio and
They're made by Celsius.
uh, there. I wanted this. So I like this one. I think I like this orange better. So, can you have there we go. And then we go there. Actually, that's something I gotta do. I might do tomorrow. I might go on to what's the new Teespring and change all my go do the monotonous thing and change all my prices for my things and make it so I'm only getting 50 cents or $1 or something like that off of each sale, maybe $2. Might get some people out there to buy some Cross Comics merchandise. I don't know. I'm not making any money now, so $1 is better than nothing. $1 is better than nothing, right?
Yeah.
Per item. John inspired that idea. Is if
Yeah, I'm
some
thinking of
people
putting
do.
some of my stuff on Teespring as well because Teespring actually does let you set the price of items. The downside to Redbubble, despite I think it does still have some more options that Teespring doesn't have, is that all the prices are fixed.
They are. I was thinking they weren't.
Yeah, no, it's just whatever Redbubble's price is for that type of item is the price.
Okay. I should go back over to Redbubble. I should get that on my. I have a site over at Redbubble. I don't promote it as much as my Teespring. I should put it in the thing. I don't got as many items over there because, like for T-shirts and everything, they're
Yeah.
I I I don't get as much money. I think it's about the same price, but they didn't allow me to make as much money.
Yeah. Well, part of that's probably also because the prices are fixed.
Yeah. I hope I can find my stylus in the next by Monday.
Sorry if you said something, I didn't hear it. I had to go grab my ruler, which was in the strainer.
Okay. Oh no, all I said was I hope I can find my stylus by Monday.
Oh, yeah.
Cause this is a pain.
Yeah. So all I have access to is like one of those really cheap plastic rulers that are clear.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean it works. It's clear. It's better than having something you can't see through. But because of that, the ink from my pens ends up getting on the edge a lot, and I have to go
Ah
and I have to like wash it off and leave it in the strainer for a bit.
ah. Yeah, I sort of know what that's like. Well, I know what it's like with the ink getting on the ruler for sure.
Yeah, yeah, because then it starts trailing on your paper if you don't get rid of it, and you get ink in spots that you don't want it to be.
Dark Link is in the chat and says hello. Well, hello, Dark Link. How are you tonight?
Just woke up
Uh,
from a nap. I wish I could nap.
I had one of those earlier on. Although my naps tend to be 2 or 3 hours.
As long as you
Uh,
don't hit 4, it's still kind of a nap.
yeah.
Once you hit 4 hours, that's just a light sleep. It's just straight up sleep.
Yes,
But unless I'm like really, really tired, like super exhausted, my body just doesn't let me nap.
well,
I'll lay down for one.
usually that's when usually that's when I'm going to nap. Is usually when I'm super tired. Dark and Link says his was an hour-ish. Okay, so I think I got most of this done. Well, actually, technically, I haven't got most of it done, but I don't feel like beyond what I've done, I don't feel good doing anymore. Without my stylus. Well, maybe I can put the whites in of the eyes.
But you also need to fix that blank spot on the shin.
What?
You see, on the shin, there's like a little uncolored
Oh,
spot.
oh, right there, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, that should be. I was just at my computer watching YouTube videos, and bam, I was shut eye. Yeah. A lot of times I start watching something on TV, YouTube videos or whatever, and that happens to me too. Start falling asleep, watch TV. I'm getting old or something. Either that, or I'm not getting a good night's sleep.
Or you're not active enough.
That too. So, I might try a Twitch gaming stream tomorrow night or tomorrow sometime for a few hours. I don't know what game, but
I know when I'm done with this manga and it's not consuming all my time, I'm gonna go back to streaming games. Let's start with the Final Fantasy series.
cool.
Maybe I'll really punish myself and play them all in order.
Yeah.
Because, like,
Yeah.
one, not really a punishment. I've beaten one many times. Two, on the other hand, I don't think I've ever actually beaten two.
Ooh.
I know
No
I've gotten
challenge.
close, but
Oh, I think well, I might have played more than seven, but seven's the one I've played the most, but I never beat it.
I've beaten seven.
I had it for my PlayStation, I think. Okay, so I got that little bit of stuff done.
Well, there's two online ones, DL. He says, "Oh, well, you can't do it in order because when you get to 14, that's the online, and then 15 is after. 11 is also an MMO that isn't currently running anymore unless you go and play it on a private server.
Yeah. Well, you can play them in order up to 10 then.
Yeah, and then I'd have to skip. I mean, I could actually play through the main campaign of 11 pretty fast on a private server. That wouldn't be too
No.
hard, but I'd probably just skip it, go to 12. Uh, Maybe even skip 13. I don't know if I want to put myself through that punishment.
So when you
Um,
when you got to 7, would you play the remastered version
oh,
or would you play the
God, no.
original?
I would play the original. I don't know if you could pay me to play the remastered version. It
I just,
isn't Final Fantasy VII.
okay, they changed it that much?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty. Don't want to do much else to that. Oh, let's save that. Save as. Doo-doo. So not too bad, an hour just to get it like that. Although I ain't doing much more because actually let's see what it looks like. Let me try and see what it might look like. Create selection from layer. We'll add a layer. Or two layers actually. One for the dark. We'll go up to here. We'll go soft. Man, not liking that already. And Darkling says he didn't count 11 due to that reason as well.
I could probably actually get through the main campaign, like the at least the first one for 14, pretty fast as well, because you can play
Yeah,
pretty much the whole starting campaign for free. I think even the
yeah.
second edition too. You can play up to that for free now, and up to level 60. So you
Well,
can get pretty good way into Final Fantasy 14 without paying any money.
there's something I might download too. I did have an account a while back. World of Warcraft.
Yeah, you can actually get pretty far in that one without paying now too.
Yeah, I just hope I could remember everything for my login.
More recently, I'd been playing Phantasy Star Online 2, which
Yeah,
is a completely free-to-play game outside of like microtransactions for stuff you may want but don't necessarily need.
yeah. Uh, Darkling says he loves World of Warcraft and plays the game almost all the time. I think that's the one that he's referring to, unless he was referring to the other one that you mentioned afterwards. Yeah, I might. Like I said, I might. I'm thinking. Uh, this looks like it's going halfway decent, and if I can share my screen, that's going to be the biggest thing. I might do a test early Saturday on Twitch to see whether I can share my screen and all that. Go live for 10 minutes or so. Bring it up on my laptop to see what's going on, to see whether I can see it, the Twitch. And then if it works, I might restart and try again. Do something again. I might go from the beginning of like maybe Batman or whatever. Oh, or the Arkham ones. Although Arkham Asylum didn't want to come up right yet, so. But I had Arkham City up. Be neat to beat. It might who knows what I'll do. And the odd time, of course, do some stuff. Then again, maybe I'll still. I know I'm really all over the place. Weekend game streams on Twitch.
I can't even play Arkham Asylum anymore on Steam because you need a to log in through your WB account, and I don't even think that the server that ran that is running anymore.
Okay. Maybe that's why I'm not able to bring up Arkham Asylum.
Maybe.
What was it saying? I'm not sure what it was saying earlier. See, let's not give people a black screen.
But this is the problem with like single player games that you have to log in to verify that it's yours. At some point, the game just becomes unplayable because the service needed for it just doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
So you really didn't buy a game, you're just renting it from them.
Yeah. Although I think I own Arkham Asylum for my either my Xbox or my PlayStation.
I believe you don't need any service to play them on those.
Let's see. Arkham Asylum. Game of the Year. Edition.
The thing is, because DL says they should make a game with Raven as the main character, I don't think you'll ever get a game where Raven is the main character, but you might get one where she's one of the main characters, like playable. She's just not popular enough on her own to make a whole game around it, but the Titans are popular enough that you might get a Teen Titans game.
Yeah,
eventually, maybe.
Well, it looks like I got it up. Arkham Asylum. Now let's see. Now can I share it with...
Maybe the Steam version might have fixed it too, because I haven't tried logging into Arkham Asylum in 4 years.
Oh yeah, I've played it since then.
They could have patched the game to where you no longer need to log in to play it because the service isn't around.
Okay, so let's see. Let's check my YouTube over. Oh yeah, it's showing it.
Yeah, I could see it. Yeah.
I have to do an entire screen, but still, that's decent. Now I know I can do it, so that's what counts, right?
Yeah.
There we go. Cheers. Clip Studio, allow. There we go. So it looks like I'm gonna do a game stream on Saturday. Darkerlink says he just noticed something. What did you just notice? In Metal's icon, he had a gun. The one a hand and a Pepsi in the other.
Yes.
He's just saying he just noticed that.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's a Colt Python Cobalt Blue 8-inch Target Special. It's my favorite gun.
Okay, let's see. See whether I can color something else for now. Here is a character that is gonna come at some point in the future of Cross Comics. He
Like
just
the
says
world jump rope champion.
No, her name's Playtime. Think Joker, Harley Quinn, possibly Riddler, Toyman, all mixed into one. Dark Lane just noticed it was a Pepsi. He always thought it was just a random can.
Well, if you read X Dynamis Chaos, you need to be paying close attention to whatever can might be in the metal's hand. If it's a Pepsi, that's fine, but there's a few other ones you just want to avoid. And there's good examples of that at the end of chapter 3 and the beginning of episode 5.
Yes. Yeah, I'm not even sure who this is going to be a villain to yet. But I'm thinking maybe Insecto. Then again, might probably be a good villain to the Canadian Shield. Well, whoever is going to be a good villain too, I think. Especially if I can play all those pieces together just right. Because as you can see, she got patchwork clothing. Do you know whether the list for Inktober's up yet?
I wouldn't know. I've never done Inktober.
I only heard about it a couple years ago, like for 2018. I didn't do
Oh
it
yeah, it's
then.
been going on for quite some time.
Yeah.
Everybody tries to get me to do it every year, but I'm just like, especially once I started doing the webcomic, I'm inking pages every single day. Why would I also go and do an ink drawing?
Yeah. Well, it gets away from the monotony of whatever you're drawing. Normally.
I think it's more to get people drawing who don't normally. At least that's most of the people I know who do it. That's the reason why they do it. It gives them an excuse.
Dark Link says Harley Quinn, and then Raven with a question mark. Well, if you're talking for playtime, I'm just trying to use villains, and as you can tell, somewhat psychotic villains. that are completely and utterly deranged in different ways.
My favorite psychotic clown is Kefka, the main villain from Final Fantasy VI,
Okay.
who his personality, as the Japanese director had once said, was loosely based off of the Joker. And unlike most other villains, he actually succeeds. He gets godly powers and takes over the world and wipes out like a third of the population, turning the world into a wasteland. And the heroes have to come back together in the final act to overthrow him after he succeeded. So that instead of like stopping him, they're cleaning up the mess.
So they are like DL. I'm not sure what you mean, Dark and Link.
Referring to psychotic villains, maybe?
Guess it could be, but I'm not sure who would want to refer to themselves as a psychotic villain.
Psychopath.
Yeah, well, I meant somebody really sane. They're not all that sane. Well, they're sane in some ways, I guess. Psychopaths. Dark and Link says, well, the Cult of Raven thinks DL is a psychopath. A psychotic person. This here, of course, is a very rough drawing. I think oh, this might have been my Inktober one. I did do her for Inktober. But last year for Inktober, when I did it for the first time, because I didn't really have enough time, I don't think. I didn't do it every day, unfortunately. I missed completing it. But I drew did the whole thing. The ones I did a Cross Comics character and put it up for each day. Get a little extra, maybe promotion for Cross Comics. You know, if you get the list ahead of time, you can think of maybe how it might, you can phrase each word for, X-Dynamis Chaos.
Oh yeah, I could. But the time I spend doing that is time I'm not spending making pages.
Sure.
I have a clown villain as well. But she's not going to show up for a really, really long time.
Well, like I said, I have no idea when this character is showing up in my thing. I just decided, one day I decided to create her, and I have no idea where she fits into the universe. She's like, it's playtime! Or something like that, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I said, she's supposed to be psychotic.
Yeah, mine's a top level threat for like literally anyone because her power source came from outside the universe, and she functionally has toon powers. So the
Uh,
laws of physics don't necessarily work the same way with her.
uh, I know you're not too much into what's the name of it? Uh, Death Battle,
Yeah,
but they're next week or whenever they have the next one put up, they're
I
doing
know what it is.
uh
Beerus
Sailor.
versus Galaxia.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I can already tell you who's supposed to win that fight.
Or who would be the winner based on what you know of both characters?
I know a lot about both characters.
Somehow I think you're gonna go with Galactica.
Galaxia should win, yeah.
Yeah. Dirkling says so. Metal's character is like the mask. Your clown character.
Kind of. I guess that would be a very apt comparison. It's even an artifact that gives her power. It's like a clown nose.
So she's very nosy.
Yeah. When she's first introduced, her name is Daisy the Mad Clown because she's a bad person. Eventually, she becomes a good person, so she changes the title at the end. No, Raven will not beat every single person in the death battle. There are tons of characters that are way more powerful than Raven.
Yep. Tons. I don't know them all, but and there's a bunch of them are just in the DC and Marvel universe alone.
But Sailor Moon as a character would solo either the DC or Marvel universe. Because people don't realize how powerful Sailor Moon is.
Yeah. When I first saw the thing for Galactica and the Sailor Moon, I thought, hmm. I was thinking it might have been Sailor Moon, but her final form, like you're telling me about or whatever. But I watched the
Yeah.
short. I watched the short on it today, and no, that's quite the same character, same universe, obviously. But
Sailor Moon has to fight her directly. She's actually kind of like the opposite of Sailor Moon. Because Usagi is the one who gives life. She has like restorative powers and stuff, and Galaxia is the destroyer. She even has a crystal like Sailor Moon's crystal that's the same but opposite. No, I realize how powerful Trigon is. In fact, Trigon's real power comes from outside the universe. The problem is Raven is not as powerful as Trigon.
and Trigon's a demon, so
Well, that's up for debate. He's called a demon.
okay, so he might not be a real demon.
Yeah, because Trigon's real origin, he was formed by pure like evil and malice outside the universe, like beyond the source wall.
Okay.
He's definitely stronger than people like Darkseid and Doomsday and stuff like that. He actually could probably take both of them on at the same time. Very powerful being.
Oh,
Still, Sailor Moon would kick his butt.
they did a on Death Battle channel. They did a short of Superman versus One Punch Man. One
Yeah.
Punch Man won.
Yeah, but he shouldn't.
You don't think he should?
No, because Saitama isn't actually a gag character, and people don't realize this. If you really pay attention to his show, Saitama does have a set strength level every time you see him. The thing about Saitama though is he grows so fast that the Saitama of today could one punch the Saitama of yesterday. But so far, we haven't seen him do anything that even puts him on the level of Superman. So it's gonna take a really long time for him to get there. Saitama, at most, right now, is a world breaker, right? He could probably destroy the Earth if he tried. Superman could destroy a universe. And we got feats to back that up.
Darkling says Trigon calls himself to be equal level to God himself. Yeah, that could go down to his ego. Yeah,
No. Actually, there's really good proof in DC that Trigon and the Presence might be as strong as each other.
Yeah,
but there's some weird things about the Presence in DC. They don't treat him like Yahweh. Even though he's supposed to kind of be the same guy. There's actually a lot of people stronger than the Presence because of how they decided to treat him within the last few decades.
Yeah. The first place I remember hearing about the Presence is when they introduced the angel guy, Zor-El.
Yeah.
Did they have the Presence, quote unquote, in the DC universe before that?
Technically, yes. Anytime they were referring to the Judeo-Christian God, they were referring to the Presence. They just hadn't yet established exactly what he was.
Yeah.
But the way they treat it, technically the Presence only exists because the Earth exists. Because he is made up of the collective consciousness or the belief of all the people that believe and worship him. And even if you don't actively worship him, just knowing about him fosters the belief. But that belief is so powerful that it's stretched back into the past, and the Presence is the thing that created the world in which believes him. It's very complicated philosophical stuff.
Yeah. Sounds a little crazy, too. Sounds a lot of, time mechanics.
Yeah. But it's one of the reasons why Earth is such an important place in the universe.
Darkling says, that being said, since Raven has the same powers of Trigon, but on a lesser scale, she's not as powerful as...
Yeah, even when she was in demon form, she still wasn't as powerful as Trigon.
Although I think she has defeated him. Has she defeated him by herself before?
No, technically not. Because the one time she defeated him one-on-one, she actually was amped by the power of Azarath. Which is where the White Raven comes from. It wasn't solely her power.
He says a bit lesser, but still. Well, lesser is lesser.
And even then, there are plenty of people stronger than Trigon in different universes.
Probably people less stronger than Trigon in the DC universe, too.
Yeah, I can think of one. Mordru, the sorcerer, who is actually probably stronger than the presence. But
But still,
he became one with the embodiment of time after he defeated him in a fight. And the Mordru that's currently in the universe is the same one from way back when he was first introduced before two different universe resets.
yeah.
Because he exists outside of time now. Yes, that did happen. That's what's his name? Was it Belial? I don't know. Which one is Etrigan's father? I'm trying to remember his name.
But Lucifer isn't an all powerful being. Lucifer really technically has no. Well, he has some powers. Probably shape shifting. Angel of Light can appear to as an Angel of Light.
Well, the DC universe, Lucifer has a lot of power.
Yeah, I'm just saying in
Yeah.
reality. Then again, heck, the DC universe, the present, like you said, the present isn't as all powerful as he should be if he's supposed to be the Yahweh God or Yahweh.
Yeah. Yeah, Raven is the aunt of both the demon Etrigan and Merlin. It's a crazy family tree there.
And she's younger than Etrigan. Go figure. You gotta love it having a sexy younger aunt than you, right?
Yeah.
Not that Etrigan would care about the sexy part. Not that he'd care that she's.
Well, they're all
Yeah.
demons, so they probably don't care that they're related.
Yeah. Okay, so Eagle's back.
Um, I'm gonna have to disagree with you, Dark and Link. I don't want to ever see anybody do Raven X Etrigan.
Okay, so I need to do the skipping rope and all that, but I'll do that another day. Let's swap that there. Actually, let's save this. Uh, Later. He says he gets your point. And he said, yeah, I mean, yeah, it would be weird, but so is Raven and I think it's Beast Boy.
Yeah, that's who he's referring to.
Probably due to the well, actually, there's been lots of things from her and Beast Boy. Let's see.
Yeah, but technically in DC there are three different types of entities that refer to themselves or are called by other people as demons. You have Trigon and his family, which technically are not fully Hellspawn because Trigon's not. You have the actual Hellspawn or Denizen of Hell, which a few people are because like Etrigan, his mother was from Hell, so technically he's at part demon in that way. And then you have the fallen angels, which are also referred to as demons by people. So in DC, demon's kind of like a really loose and arbitrary term.
Metal is correct, says Dr. Mike. This is supposed to go over there. Trying to, yeah, and then knees.
And yes, Trigon is the most powerful quote unquote demon. But he is by far not the most powerful entity in DC. Well, you say that. He says he is in a way since God should be at the very top, but I've already told you the presence isn't at the top of the hierarchy.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah.
At least from my opinion.
Well, and also in the opinion of the people that first created the presence. But a lot has changed about the world since then.
The DC universe.
Yeah. It's kind of the same in the Marvel, right? Because Marvel was founded by a couple of Jewish guys. So the one above all is the Judeo Christian God. And at one point, he literally was the one above all. But now there's a few different things more powerful than him.
Dragon don't says, I don't believe you.
No, he doesn't want to believe me. That's the thing.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, I believe Metal is probably correct in the fact that DC has done such a thing because it would just be like them to do that,
Yeah.
and Marvel.
Well, like a good example is the other kind, like the Upside Down Man, are each in parity with the presence individually. But in together, they're all sections of the. I think it's called like the Great Darkness or something. But it's like the polar opposite of the presence. And the presence needed other people's help, like Animal Man and stuff, and Swamp Thing, to be able to fight said darkness, to be on an even playing field.
Okay, that's just wrong. But
Well, you can make arguments too that the aspects that these characters have, like how they have the clear, or well, the clear is Aquaman, but like the green and forget what the animal one is. It might be the red, but
the red, yeah,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
the red.
But these aspects that they have come from the presence initially, so they're made by him, probably with the intent of them helping him fight this thing. So equally, they're kind of like the other kind. So they were always made for him to be on an even playing field.
Yeah. Mhm. What you are you talking about is nonsense. The president was just so lazy he needed help. Yeah. Hey, it's
And then
deep.
there's also the time that Lucifer actually beat the presence in a fight.
Okay. Now DC is just unless the president let himself loose.
No, he was being corrupted at the time. So you could make the argument that the presence knew that he was going to get corrupted at some point in the future. So he set up circumstances for Lucifer to become powerful enough to defeat him in a fight.
Okay.
Because that's the
DC.
thing about the presence plan. He says that Lucifer was the one person to get outside his plan, but that has to be a straight out lie because he knew it was going to happen, so it had to be part of his plan anyway. Either that or the presence is lying about his plan in the first place, and he could literally just claim anything was in his plan.
Yeah. But the president isn't supposed to lie.
Yeah, apparently.
Ah, crap. I'll just get a whole bunch of colors on the same level.
Well, that doesn't inherently make Trigon more powerful than the presence because Lucifer's power has evolved over time. You actually have to look at the timeline when these events happen. Like when Lucifer ended up defeating the presence in a fight was after he was put in a cage in hell. So there's this thing called linear time you have to consider. No, there Where's my ruler?
Luckily, I didn't do any shading or anything, so I can grab all these colors nice and easy and put them on new layers. Dirk says his comment still stands. He has the full right to believe that Lucifer would still be more powerful. I have no idea.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Is he talking about DC Comics or is this a supernatural plot? It kind of sounds like one, doesn't it? But no, this actually did happen in the comics. I think some of these events did also still happen under Vertigo's control, so I don't remember exactly what still is and isn't canon in this regard. Since, Vertigo ceased being a thing when they merged all the worlds together and then they brought it back for some really bad new comics. Though technically it is also the same Lucifer from back then, which might explain why he's more powerful now. Because during the reset, Lucifer was flying in the void outside of the source wall.
Anything to make things crazy and convoluted.
Yeah.
Some things not based in reality. Vertigo broke the whole thing.
Well, it's not that Vertigo broke it. Vertigo was trying to do their own thing. It was, their parent company, DC, that broke it by deciding to bring everything together for no reason.
Darkwing said. Well, anyways, that was one crazy topic, and Raven is still the best. Yes, she's the best of the worst. No.
Well, I mean, I like Raven, but she still just isn't beating Sailor Moon in a fight.
Raining love by spoonlight. Hmm. Like says, "Bro, get your anime out of here. Sailor Moon is on." Well, again, it depends on which version of Sailor Moon you're dealing with, too.
I mean, technically, which is how it usually works with anime, there's only one story, right? And it more so, where in her timeline are you dealing with Sailor Moon?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because, like, early Sailor Moon would get her butt kicked. She has, like, no access to her power. She doesn't even know what or where the silver crystal is. And she is, like, anywhere between city block to city level of destructive capacity at the very first arc. But end of the story, Sailor Moon, is no less than multiversal, possibly outerversal. And when you look at the feeds, she dumpsters most people in fiction.
Yeah, that's what I'm more meant where in the timeline by which version.
Yeah. Well, because, like, you know, when we're talking about DC and stuff, there actually are multiple versions of characters.
Yeah.
There's a weird thing about the Sailor Scouts is, like, what they can come back from. So they have something that's kind of like even more base level than a soul called their Star Seed. And their body can be destroyed, their soul can be destroyed, but they can regenerate from just their Star Seed. But then Sailor Moon, when she got the Lambda power, became so unkillable that even her Star Seed was destroyed and the Lambda power resurrected her.
Sounds almost like Starscream.
Yeah. But, like, she's functionally immune to soul erasure. And one of her actual biggest feats is when Chaos basically destroyed everything. There is this corridor outside of the world, which the Sailor Scouts have actually been outside of our space-time, so they were functionally outside the universe. And instead of teleporting back, they flew back, which means they covered a more than infinite amount of distance in a non-infinite amount of time. But there's this corridor outside of the universe that's kind of like a sea between worlds or whatever. It's like this emptiness that links everything together, like a river. And she was able to completely fill this corridor between universes with healing energy and restored everything.
Okay.
Yeah. That's like a really broken, like, level feat.
Okay, so I think I'm done with coloring for now. We got 10 minutes ago, so we'll just try and talk about whatever. Durkin Link says K.
But that's the thing with like those characters. They start out kind of weak, not because they just don't know how to use their powers. So they get all these transformations, but really it's kind of just like unsealing trapped power. The Sailor Scouts and the type of beings they fight are designed to basically be the gods of those worlds in kind of like the Grecian way, you know? And I think people don't wrap their heads around that, and they're like, "Oh, look at these funny-looking characters."
Yeah, well, they don't know all the manga stuff that goes with it. You know that
Yeah,
the years and years of manga. You know that like by the time Sailor Moon came here as an anime, or even was in Japan as an anime, they probably had what 10 years of manga or 5 years of manga.
oh yeah, and anime completely destroyed the information that was in the manga with the American dub.
Yeah. Although I heard they redid Sailor Moon.
Yeah, so remember how I told you the difference between Full Metal Alchemist and Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood and how one's closer to the manga?
Yeah.
There is a anime called Sailor Moon Crystal, and it doesn't really have the filler, and it just follows the manga exactly. I don't know how far it's gotten, but it's pretty good. It's a good way to like learn about the world.
Raven. He says Raven's still better. Hey, nobody's denying you to like and
You can like whatever character you want. A lot of my favorite characters are like street level and would get their butt kicked by a ton of different characters.
Yeah. There's only so much, Green Lantern or Spider-Man can do, especially Spider-Man against.
Oh yeah, Spider-Man at most has the destructive capacity of a city block, but he doesn't actually have the range to do that. Unless, I don't know, if he created a giant slingshot with his webs and actually shot himself through buildings and caused them to collapse.
Yeah.
That's like the only way he could do it. Like he's got the strength and durability of people who have the destructive capacity of a city block, but he doesn't actually have the area of effect to do anything like that. He's just trading blows with people that strong.
Yeah. Sometimes stronger. Although,
Yeah.
He's gone up against the Hulk and the Juggernaut and lived to tell the tale.
Yeah. Spider-Man has this one really broken thing that lets him still be as weak as he is comparatively, but effective against stronger people, and that's his precognition, or the way the Spidey sense works.
Yeah.
It lets him to react to things that he has no right otherwise being able to react to.
Yeah. Also using his smarts to use his powers,
But it doesn't matter how smart you are if somebody comes flying in at faster than the speed of light.
Yeah.
But if you're precognitive, you know they're flying in before they actually do. Like the Spidey sense would set off and he'd be able to react to it.
Yeah, but even that, the Spidey sense has limits. It can't.
Yeah.
It may warn him a second beforehand, but if that person's going to be there in less than a second.
Or like, so it might warn him more than early enough, right? Like it might give him an 8-second head start. But if they're flying in from outer space faster than light, he still has no idea what he's supposed to be reacting to.
Yeah. It'd be like the Flash coming at him and, getting, a little bit of a few second thing. He'd have no idea it was the Flash that was coming at him.
Yeah. It's like he got a warning, he thought it was like a false alarm, and then he's splatter against the wall before he knows it.
Oh, there's the point. He should never think it's a false alarm.
Ever.
It's just a question of what can you do to react even when you know it's not a false alarm.
Yeah.
But
Well, because he has had false alarms before. That's the problem.
Yeah. It's so. Hold on, I'm saying goodnight to everyone. It's so hard to, you know.
Like, that's the thing with death battles. You're trying to find people that are close to them that'd be kind of fun to argue. You're not just trying to put like everybody up against everybody.
Yeah. Darken Link says, just get out of the way. But if somebody
How do you get out of his way?
Yeah, how do you get out of the Flash's way when you have no idea where he's coming from? Although sometimes the Spidey sense is weird. Sometimes it'll actually give him a direction, sort of.
Yeah.
Where something's coming from. Sometimes not. Sometimes it's you're in danger somehow.
But what's the danger?
It's gone off when somebody's, been taking a picture of him changing, from Spider-Man to Peter Parker or whatever, and he's gotten a picture of that being taken, and, he has no idea that the picture's been taken because, they're, hiding
But this is
somewhere.
like, even if it told you to get out of the way, the Flash is moving so fast and can turn on a dime that even if you get out of the way, he's already right there.
Yeah. Yeah, Spidey's fast in his reactions, but he's not fast enough.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
It's like, there's only one way to describe how fast the Flash is. And if somebody asks how fast is the Flash, the only answer you can give them is yes. He's as fast as speed can be, ultimately. Ever since they changed the way the Speed Force works and how it's actual layer outside of the physical part of reality.
Yeah. Darken Link says you laugh out loud, yep. Although you would hardly ever see the Flash and Spidey face off. It'd be more like Quicksilver, but Quicksilver is nowhere near as fast as the Flash.
No, but the Quicksilver can exceed the speed of light. So while he's not as fast as Flash, he is fast enough for the same type of argument to apply.
Yeah.
Because he has outraced radio waves before, which means that he has to be moving faster than light to do that.
Yeah.
I think, because a lot of people have done the math on a few of these things before, I think Quicksilver is up to 18 times the speed, or no, was it 1,800 times the speed of light? Like, it's still really, really fast, but not fast enough compared to a lot of these other characters. Like, it's like really slow.
Yeah. For speedies. The speedy ones.
Yeah. Like, I know Green Lantern, to be able to fly between solar systems and galaxies at the speed that the Green Lanterns do, means that they're moving more than 1,000,000 times faster than the speed of light.
Yeah. But that's the ring propelling them that fast.
Yeah.
It's them, but it's more the ring doing it. So.
Well, everything is the ring, technically.
Yeah. Darken Link says, one time during Crisis of Infinite Earths, when the Flash died, Marvel tried to steal the Flash, so he just ran so fast he ended up in Marvel. I don't remember that, but I know that
I have no knowledge of this thing.
I don't think they'd be able to steal them. It takes a few years for copyrights and all that kind of stuff to go away. So it just
But Flash is not the fastest guy in DC.
Yeah, and then it depends on which Flash you're dealing with in DC.
Yeah.
Too. But I think all the Flashes in DC are faster than Quicksilver.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But
right now, the fastest Flash is Jay Garrick, because he currently has the power of Mercury, which makes him faster than any of the Flashes that rely on the Speed Force, since the gods are outside the Speed Force. And Mercury and Hermes have always been faster than Flash.
Darken Link says they tried to do it. And then he says, yeah, in DC, the something racer.
I think it means the Black Racer, which is an embodiment of death. Well, even then, he's limited to the Speed Force. He comes from the Speed Force. If you go outside of it in the way the cosmology is now, and there's like the heavens and the hells and stuff, and there's gods that are outside of that, there's creatures that get way faster than that.
Yeah. Anyways, it's 402.
Yep.
You want to do your normal promote?
Yeah. Go and check out xdynamuschaos.com. It's my website. I treat it like a digital magazine, and I have comics, long form and short, prose. It's all in the same world building up. And if you want things that actually, I do a lot of math to make sure that it's consistent and stuff, and there's a lot of growth and interesting lore, maybe even more meticulously than in DC or Marvel. Follow my world as it builds up, and you'll be entertained. And also, just quickly, check out my podcast.
Yeah, it'll be on tomorrow night. No, I am not broadcasting underwater marsupial. It's just getting everything set precisely for this new setup. Things are slowly coming together. Hopefully within a month, everything will be fine-tuned. Except for, sharing, OBS, that sort of thing. But even that, hopefully. So, yeah, thanks, Metal, for coming on. Everybody, check out all the links in the description. Thanks for everybody in chat coming by and talking. It's been great talking with everybody. And I might be on Twitch tomorrow doing a game stream of some type. So we'll catch y'all later. Bye for now. God bless. Have a great and wonderful night, day, whatever it might be for you.